So a few weeks back, I came across a couple of wandering dogs out here in the backcountry. Please go back and watch the video to see the full entire story. But today I have an update on what happened with these two cute little buggers. So I ran into some locals that day that said that they belonged to the log sort facility because they've seen them down there before. And it turns out that's not where they belonged. And today I have an update for you on what happened with both of these dogs. We're still quite a ways from the wreck site, and these dogs are still following me. I've been driving now for about 5 kilometers. Are you guys okay? Hi. Oh, hi. I see you both jumped in the water. Hi. Hey guys, this is Stacy. I'm at Sayward Valley Resort in Sayward, BC. This is the area that I found those two puppies way up in the mountains. And I came in here, met a subscriber of ours, and she's got a little story about those little puppies. So apparently those dogs that I found up in the mountain came from across the river. And
yeah,
everybody was worried that I just kind of dumped them back off in the woods again.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, and they found their way home, and they have been picked up several times.
So
but
I'm
they're
not the first one.
No.
So
they're good. They roam around. Apparently, it's an older guy, and he lives across, like the river, I guess, from where the Eve River log sort is.
So pretty much where I dropped them off, they were just across the river from there.
Yeah, they weren't too far.
So they pretty much roam and live in those mountains just
do.
all the time.
So they're good. They're healthy. They're fine. There was a post made on Facebook, I believe, a few weeks ago that said, they're okay. They'll find their way home, and that's the way that they live. So they're good. They're healthy. They're happy.
You should put tags on them that says, "Hey, I live in the woods. I roam this whole place.
Please don't pick me up."
Yeah, please don't pick me up. Leave me alone. I love to roam.
Yeah. So they're
mad
good.
Dogs roaming the bush.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel better. I know a lot of people on here were asking. They're like, "How dare you just re-dump them off?" I'm like, "Well, it just kind of made sense because they were coming down the hill that I went up from where the log sort is. I was going up the hill and they were coming down this way.
Yeah.
Then they busted a U-turn and followed me and kept following me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So when I came back, it kind of made sense that not far around down that hill was the log sort, and they seemed fine there. They were okay with the bulldog, with the pit bull that was there.
Yeah.
I figured, okay, if those
Chevy,
the pit bull's name is Chevy.
Yeah.
I figured if they got along with Chevy, that's probably an okay place to be.
Yeah.
And there was somebody at the mill when I was there, but there was a generator running. They didn't hear me.
Yeah.
And turns out the video was shared with everybody, and we gained some new subscribers from it. And the dogs are safe and sound.
They're good.
Thank you.
Perfect.
For all the info, I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
And also, if you guys are ever out here in Sayward, I know it's hard to find places to do things like shower and laundry. Right here, it's called Sayward Valley Resort.
You betcha.
Right over there, they have not only a campground, but they have laundry and a coin shower over there. It's 4 minutes for $1.50.
4 minutes for $1.
4 minutes for $1.
Yeah.
So if you stink,
unless you want cold, then it's free.
Awesome. Thanks for the update. You will definitely see us again.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, you too. That was such good news to hear that those backcountry puppies are back at home, and I dropped them off where they needed to be, which was somewhere familiar and close to home. I trusted a local out there in the backcountry that day that said, "Hey, I've seen those dogs around the log sort before." So I just trusted the feeling that I had when I got to the log sort. The dogs seemed like they knew the area, and they didn't have any confrontation with a pit bull that was at the log sort when we were there that was very angry that I was on the property. Those other dogs got along great with it, so it made me feel okay about leaving them there. But kind of cool that we got subscribers all over the place and can give me updates on things like that, because, I was a little bit worried. They didn't follow me out of the log sort, and I figured with all the following they did with me that day in the backcountry, that they would have just continued to follow the van, and they didn't. But anyway, guys, for those of you that were still worried about it or angry at me because I left them where I did, now you all can have some peace of mind too. And maybe one day we can arrange with somebody to go see the puppies and see the owner, and maybe take the owner some dog collars for those dogs that have one side of the tag that says, "We like to roam, we're probably not lost," and maybe on the other side, a contact phone number so someone doesn't drive them way back to the next biggest city here and dump them off at the pound. Because that would be scary for those puppies to be locked in a cage, and they live in the backcountry. But I think that's what happens when you're in very remote areas like we are up here on the northern side of the island. Those dogs have a way bigger backyard. This whole area is probably their backyard. So anyway, those dogs didn't seem hard done by. They were happy. They were super sweet. And I kind of fell in love with those little buggers, especially the one that was cuddling me. Do you remember those shots, guys? If you didn't see the video, just type in Vancity Vanlife lost dogs. They were so flippin' cute when they got in my bed. Anyway, guys, I'm on the northern side of the island, and we are gonna go out and have a little fun. I know I haven't posted anything in the last 5 days, but we've been really busy at the shop getting it painted. The electrician's in there hanging up all the lighting in the main shop. We're just trying to wrap that whole project up before we can leave on our summer travels this year. But I thought while we got a week of downtime that we'd go have some fun. We are way up on the mountain. We've been climbing now for about 20 minutes, and I don't think this road's going anywhere, but it sure is beautiful. Wow. What a view. Oh, that's amazing out there. Not sure if we're gonna make it through there, and I sure as heck don't want to back up out of here because that is one very steep cliff on that side and a long drive in. That's the end of the road. I think this is the last week we have to adventure here before I set off on our big summer expedition up to the Yukon. And the Yukon is a monster piece of land with a small amount of people. I think the entire territory only has 43,000 people across every town and community that they have up there. So making sure that my van is in tip-top mechanical condition before we take off into all these remote areas is very, very important right now. There's a few things that I want to address already, like suspension stuff. But this week, I want to make sure that this van is ready because this summer, my friends, we are going to travel hard. Reclaim that trip that I failed on last year because of a blown engine and a blown transmission. This year, those two parts are brand new and they shouldn't cause me a problem at all. A little bit of an angle. Oh, look at this. No way. This whole river spot all to ourselves. Oh, this is perfect. Beautiful. It's a good spot for Cruzy because the deeper side of the river is on the other side, so I don't got to worry about him getting sucked down the river. There you go, buddy. Water's so clean. It's too beautiful out here. Everything inside of me just went calm back there. So I think I came up with a partial plan for my summer travels. I don't like to plan my trips. I always want to give myself like kind of like a general area to explore. Like in years past, we've just like, okay, we're going to the East Coast. That's it. Just going to the East Coast, no plan, just go. This year, our plan is to go to the Yukon. Are we gonna take the big highway, go all the way up to the Arctic? Maybe. I don't know yet. But the only part of the season that I do need to plan out a little bit is the first month after I leave, because my daughter's graduating that we have to come back to about a month after we head out on the road. So I think we're gonna stay on this side of British Columbia and just explore some of the backcountry out here, maybe pop out, see my son Seth, come back to my daughter's graduation. Once that's out of the way, we're gonna full send it up to the Yukon. And I'm really pumped about that. I'm also pumped to go to my daughter's grad. Believe it or not, I've never been to a graduation before. I never graduated, and nor did I know anybody around me that ever graduated either. Seriously, for real. As soon as my daughter told me she's graduating, I'm like, are you my kid? Are you sure? Because your daddy hated school in a major way. But I'm pretty proud of that kid. And it's going to be nice to go up there and see my other son, Seth, and see how he's doing. They made a big move to a new town, so that'll be pretty rad. But right now, we're just chilling. This guy's the master of chill. Hey, Cruzy. Damn, it feels good to be out here, doesn't it, bud? I had a bit of a transmission leak just out of the pan. Oh, levels are good. And everything's all good now. Lauren went through, there was a couple of bolts on my transmission pan, like probably 4 of them, I think, that were loose. So he retorqued it all down. Everything's good, levels look good. Adding the extra fuel tanks is definitely adding a lot more weight to the van. The weight of the aluminum tanks themselves, plus the steel skid plate that's going over top, is gonna be, I don't know, 200-300 pounds at least. And then add fuel to the tanks, which will probably be, depending on how much the capacity is, if it's 120 liters of extra fuel, you're looking at 375 pounds of fuel alone. So because of the extra weight, we are adding an extra leaf spring to the back. I still got to message Jeremy down at WellTech about that. We have the leaf spring, and I think I'm going to replace the rear shocks in the back of my vehicle. Just when I hit some bumps, sometimes it's got a couple of bounces to it, so we're just gonna change them now anyway before my trip. New springs, an extra leaf in the back to take on some of the weight support and get the back end up about another 1 or 2 inches, giving us a little bit more clearance in the back, because as we keep adding extra weight to it, it's weighing the back end down a little bit. And I notice sometimes when my van's sitting, it sits backwards just a little bit. We've added a lot of weight to this thing with the with the addition of the new back bumper system, now the additional tanks. We need to kind of pep up the back a little bit. So that stuff will all be happening before I leave on my trip. So I just got to remember to message WellTech. I keep forgetting to call them. I seriously do. By the time we get to an end of the week, I'm like, oh, I forgot to call them. So Welltech Designs, if you guys are watching, fire me off a message. We need some, I need to buy a set of shocks for the back. And also these brackets here. So we got an extra leaf spring for in here. It just will not fit in this bracket. So I need a new one of these brackets a little bit taller so I can squeeze in the extra leaf spring. These ones here are actually riveted right through there. Right there. So I went down to a local spring shop and they said that they don't sell these pieces, that I would have to make an appointment for them to put the leaf in themselves. But if we got a hold of one of those brackets, then we could do that at my shop. The plus side about doing the extra leaf at my shop is once we get the leaf in there, we can adjust the height precisely ourselves. Plus, we can also take it out for a drive and see how it feels. So Welltech told me to install the new leaf 3 leaves down from the top, or 3 leaves from the bottom up. I don't know, I should talk to them about that. I think it's 3 leaves down from the top. Then if it's too rigid, we move it down 1 or up 1. Something like that. So if I find it's too stiff, we can shift it down in the stack to make it a bit more softer and shift it down a bit more until we get the ride feel that we want. I think if I take it into an actual spring shop, they're going to be done with me, hand me the bill, they're going to send me out. It'll be troublesome. So if we can do this in-house at the shop, we can bomb the van around, take it for a rip in the backcountry, come back to the shop and make any fine-tuning adjustments we can in-house, which would be pretty cool. Look at this guy living his best life. Hey, this is way better than the shop, isn't it, bud? This guy's living the dream. So my back is definitely feeling a little bit better. And I know y'all want to know why I don't get Cruzy Bear a ramp. I've been thinking about trying it again. I've purchased 2 ramps before in the past, both times complete failure and a high risk of injury for the dog. He does okay for getting in on the ramp, but sometimes he just turns around, jumps straight back out past the ramp onto the ground. And well, my van is big, and that is a mighty big jump for a dog like that to put that kind of pressure on his shoulder. So the second time I bought a ramp, I said that was going to be the last time. But I have seen some really cool stairs. So what I might do is I might go to Amazon, buy a set of stairs, and give the stairs a try, because that I've never tried before in the past. And I know he does pretty decent with stairs, getting into other people's vans around me, like Lauren's ambulance, or like Chris's van the other day. Mind you, Chris's van's a lot lower than this one. So maybe stairs are the ticket. Maybe I'll try a set before I come back. Where I'm gonna put the stairs in here, I don't know. But I guess we'll have to figure it out. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. The main reason why I turned my camera on is I wanted to tell you guys the good news about the bush puppies. That was really, really awesome news and made my day. When I went in there and she brought up the subject of the dogs, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know? She's like, absolutely. We actually know the person. I'm like, oh, this is heaven to the ears. All right, y'all. Keep the double V's up, and we're going to be poking around the bush out here for probably the next week. So come back and see what kind of craziness we get up to. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next.